So common postpartum injuries, what are the common postpartum injuries? Lacerations and contusions of the vulva or the birth canal or either the vagina, either the cervix. This leads to the very pathetic condition sometimes. So you people might be aware with that things also. Okay, during the dystocia, handling of the dystocia handling, and during the parturition, normal parturition also, sometime in these things are happens. So another category is hematomas. Hematomas are also very common during the handling of the parturition, handling of the dystocia cases or normal parturition. So around the maternal pelvis structures like the vulva, vagina, birth canal, and other structures, uh, many a times we found that when the assisted delivery is there, we found that there is any rupture, there is any contusion, there is any hematomas, or most commonly seen that paralysis of the hindquarters. So paralysis of the hindquarters may be due to gluteal nerve paralysis, maybe obturator nerve paralysis, or peroneal nerve paralysis, or due to the rupture of gastrocnemius muscles, and so many. So first of all, the gluteal paralysis. It is mainly seen in the case of mare because there is very much delicate skin and other muscles also. So that very much common in the mare, but in the bovines also we can also found that these types of paralysis also there, which is occurred during the post-extraction of the fetus. Post-extraction causes the pressing of the gluteal nerve during the if the birth canal is narrow. Most of the time, birth canal is narrow, and we people think that we can extract the fetus by the forcefully. That time, if you not handle the case very carefully, or then it will happen. Bony part of the fetus, like the pelvis and other pelvis of the fetus, that causes the pressing of the gluteal muscle. Press कर देता है gluteal muscle को, जो ileum के over से जाती है, पास होती है, over the ileum, that will press the gluteal nerves, and ultimately when the nerves are paralyzed, then atrophy of the gluteal muscles occur, and that will lead to the gluteal nerve paralysis. It may be either side or on the both side, maybe on the left or right or on the both side. So what are the symptoms? Symptoms very so many symptoms are common in the hindquarter paralysis, either it is gluteal nerve paralysis or peroneal nerve paralysis, other things. But you should mind differentiate by the differential diagnosis. So in this case, the difficulty in rising and lameness and weakness of the affected limbs occurred. And atrophy of the gluteal muscle, as I said, within the few days, within 3 days or 7 days, the atrophy of the gluteal muscles occur, and you can see by your naked eye on the cross examination also. So recovery time is take 6 to 18 months, and means the half year to 1.5 years. So it will recover, but if you give the proper nursing care and the soft bedding materials, this will lead to the recovery. But if you not done these things, then it will causes the severe laminitis and permanent laminitis occur in the animals. So, but external massage has no value because of the in the atrophy of the gluteal muscle, again atrophy automatically when the regeneration of the cells and other things occur, then only you can think about the recovery, otherwise not. Another thing, accelerated paralysis, it is most commonly seen during the post-extraction of the fetus, when the hip lock condition has occurred. When the hip lock condition has occurred, when the pelvis is narrow and we people have extracted the fetus by the post pulley, then in the up to the hip level, then it causes the pressing of the obturator nerves, pressing of the obturator nerves. That will lead to the paralysis of the medial obturator externus, pectineus, and gracilis muscles. These muscles are paralyzed, and these muscles will be atrophied when the nerve supply has gone. That will lead to the ultimately degeneration and atrophy of these muscles. So it will be most of time it is unilateral, but if bilateral, then also it is very dangerous, and prognosis is very guarded. Once the animal has lying down, then if you not give the proper nursing care, it will never be stand up. So it is very dangerous paralysis in the cases of the bovine, especially in the heifers. So we will think about that when these types of conditions occur, then proper nursing care and sometimes corticosteroid and nervine tonics is helpful. So these are prognosis guarded if not improving within a week. And treatment, as I said, that good nursing care and tying up the both animal feet, then it will help in the sometimes, but not always. Use of slings. Slings is very, very much beneficial as for giving the animal proper exercise, and stand up by the time 3 to 4 times in a day. You can apply the slings. Slings will turn then out. So that will be helpful in this type of cases. But if you've not done, then it will be very much pathetic conditions. This is the slings as we applied. If you have not found the slings, then there will be a provision for the animals for the lifting daily basis 3 to 4 times, but it is not manageable in our systems because so much manpower is required. So slings is very useful. Another condition is the peroneal nerve paralysis. It is also commonly seen in the cow after the dystocia or after the milk fever. When the milk fever has comes in, then it will lead to the recumbency of the animal, and that will causes the peroneal nerve paralysis, which is passes over the dorsolateral condyle of the tibia and fibula. Most of the time in the milk fever or in the dystocia cases, the injury and trauma occurs in this nerve. That will lead to the animals suffering with the lameness or suffering with the permanent lameness. So that injury results into the anesthesia of the cranial surface of the fetlock. Fetlock, metatarsal, and the digit portion has the anesthetized because nerve paralysis. So digits are extended because when we apply the anesthesia, that also lead to the extension of the digits. That same effect causes here by the peroneal nerve paralysis. An extension of the hip joint occurred, and which lead to the knuckling of the fetlock joint. In this very figure, you can see that there is a knuckling in the fetlock joint. So, and the dropping of the hock portion also drops. So that will lead to the paralysis. And if this type of condition occurs, then definitely difficulty in the rising, standing, and walking occurs. In this cases, cow walker and animal walker is also beneficial, in which the wheels are fitted in a iron pillars and slings are also there in that. You people, I think, has seen that cow walker. So that will sometimes helps, but not always. Prognosis is good to guarded if proper care and nursing care is done. Animal should be in the tie-in condition, means that you should keep the animal in close confinement and supporting bandage for the lower portion of the limb, as in the hub portion and in the fetlock. That will help in sometimes. And nervine tonic and corticosteroid and other therapy as same. And another is the rupture of the gastrocnemius muscles. It is mainly caused by when the selenium deficiency in the cow has occurred. Then it leads to the Jenkins degeneration, with the necrosis of the posterior part of the muscles has occurred. That will lead to the sometimes degeneration of the gastrocnemius muscles and rupture of the gastrocnemius muscle. Also seen during the Jenkins degeneration, when the animal has trying to get it up. When the animal has struggling with the effort to rise, that will lead to the rupture of the gastrocnemius muscle, because already selenium deficiency is there, and then that will lead to the thinning of the muscles. When the thinning of muscles has occurred, then when the animal has gone to the struggling to the rise, to the getting up, then it lead to the rupture of that muscles. This is very simple phenomenon, but sometimes we people has give so many high dose of the epidural anesthesia, that will also lead to that time. At that time, also gastrocnemius muscle rupture occurred when the animal has struggling for their getting up or rising. So that is the symptom. What are the symptoms? So flaccid gastrocnemius tendons. Gastrocnemius tendons as flaccid. Flaccid means loose पड़ जाता, and swelling of the gastrocnemius muscle region has also occurred. But treatment is same as that in the previous cases, but we should give the prophylactic injection of the selenium in the time of the pregnancy as a preventive measures, but it is not so much preferable and so much effective. So these are the sometimes some type of the paralysis and rupture of the muscles. And if you want, then I will repeat this slide also, because it was very close. Yes.